Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother, starting at the beginning of the book just after the table of contents. This is a story about a mother, 2 daughters, and 2 dogs. It's also about Mozart and Mendelssohn, the piano and the violin, and how we made it to Carnegie Hall. This was supposed to be a story of how Chinese parents are better at raising kids than Western ones. But instead, it's about a bitter clash of cultures, a fleeting taste of glory, and how I was humbled by a 13-year-old. Part 1. The tiger, the living symbol of strength and power, generally inspires fear and respect. Chapter 1. The Chinese Mother. A lot of people wonder how Chinese parents raise such stereotypically successful kids. They wonder what these parents do to produce so many math whizzes and music prodigies, what it's like inside the family, and whether they could do it too. Well, I can tell them because I've done it. Here are some things my daughters, Sophia and Louisa, were never allowed to do. Attend a sleepover, have a play date, be in a school play, complain about not being in a school play, watch TV or play computer games, choose their own extracurricular activities, get any grade less than an A, not be the number 1 student in every subject except gym and drama, play any instrument other than the piano or violin, not play the piano or the violin. I'm using the term Chinese mother loosely. I recently met a super successful white guy from South Dakota. You've seen him on television. And after comparing notes, we decided that his working class father had definitely been a Chinese mother. I know some Korean, Indian, Jamaican, Irish, Ghanaian parents who qualify too. Conversely, I know some mothers of Chinese heritage, almost always born in the West, who are not Chinese mothers by choice or otherwise. I am also using the term Western parents loosely. Western parents come in all varieties. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say that Westerners are far more diverse in their parenting styles than the Chinese. Some Western parents are strict, others are lax. Some are same-sex parents, Orthodox Jewish parents, single parents, ex-hippie parents, investment banker parents, and military parents. None of these Western parents necessarily see eye to eye. So when I use the term Western parents, of course, I'm not referring to all Western parents, just as Chinese mother doesn't refer to all Chinese mothers. All the same, even when Western parents think they're being strict, they usually don't come close to being Chinese mothers. For example, my Western friends who consider themselves very strict make their children practice their instruments 30 minutes every day, an hour at most. For a Chinese mother, the first hour is the easy part. It's the hours 2 and 3 that get tough. Despite our squeamishness about cultural stereotypes, there are tons of studies out there showing marked and quantifiable differences between Chinese and Westerners when it comes to parenting. In one study of 50 Western American mothers and 48 Chinese immigrant mothers, almost 70% of the Western mothers said either that stressing academic success is not good for children or that parents need to foster the idea that learning is fun. By contrast, roughly 0% of the Chinese mothers felt the same way. Instead, the vast majority of the Chinese mothers said that they believe their children can be the best students, that academic achievement reflects successful parenting, and that if children did not excel at school when there was a problem and parents were not doing their job. Other studies indicate that compared to Western parents, Chinese parents spend approximately 10 times as long every day drilling academic activities with their children. By contrast, Western kids are more likely to participate in teams and sports teams. This brings me to my final point. Some might think that the American sports parent is an analog to the Chinese mother. This is so wrong. Unlike your typical Western, overscheduling soccer mom, the Chinese mother believes that, number 1, schoolwork always comes first. 2, an A- is a bad grade. 3, your children must be 2 years ahead of their classmates in math. 4, you must never compliment your children in public. 5, if your child ever disagrees with a teacher or coach, you must always take the side of the teacher or coach. 6, the only activities your children should be permitted to do are those which they can eventually win a medal. And 7, that medal must be gold.